Okay, I'm going to turn my microphone on. I want to know, you could eat one Thanksgiving dish every day for the rest of your life. What would it be? He said no. You say no way. All right. Say it, shout out. Pecan pie. Potato salad. Stuffing.
Cornbread.
Mac and cheese, cornbread. Pumpkin pie. Mashed potatoes. Did you change your answer there? Nice. Over here, anyone here? French fries? Spinach and artichoke. Yes. Ooh, sweet potatoes with marshmallows. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. What'd you say? Kale. Someone I love once told me I thought that was a garnish. But yes, I love kale. Yes. All right. Another question. If you could remove one dish from the Thanksgiving table forever, what would it be? Someone said kale. Pumpkin pie. Turkey. What'd you, cranberries? This is a very controversial group. Okay. I get it. All right. We already talked about kale. All right. So whether we love or we loathe certain kinds of food, we know we can never underestimate the power of sitting at table together, right? We keep showing up, right? A family or community that eats together stays together. Sure? So much of our lives, as we know, revolves around food. The first date, the very early morning breakfast for those of us with littles. Sometimes it's 4 a.m. The lunch on the go in the middle of the workday, that late night dinner, waiting for everybody to come home from practice and all those things. How about that reunion brunch with those friends from long ago that you haven't seen in so long? Or the birthday pizza party followed by another birthday pizza party. Those are great. How about the coffee date over Zoom with a loved one who's far away? Or that new recipe you try with friends after the doctor says you got to have a new diet now. That 55 plus group that's been getting together over food and drink. How about that evening snack while catching up on the news or on yeah. Across cultures and traditions, the recipe feels the same. When someone is caring for a loved one who's ill or in the hospital, we ask, did you eat? Can I get you something? Or when someone is sitting Shiva or grieving, we fill their house with food. When someone is sick, we fill their belly with chicken noodle soup or whatever our version is of it, gumbo or matzo ball soup or asopao. You know what yours is. And when things get awkward at the table, which sometimes happens, we just keep eating. Judaism and Christianity point to the power of a shared meal. When Abraham sees those visitors coming in, he tells Sarah, hurry, prepare a table for them. And it's those visitors that help Sarah learn that she's going to have a baby at 90. And when Jesus knows that his time is coming to an end, what does he want to do? He wants to gather at table with his best friends. Even here at IFFP, we cherish our bagels, okay, after gathering, and we know how much we miss them during the pandemic. Meals together are invitations ripe with possibility. They can disarm us or help us pause to see the humanity of another sitting before us. They can give us a moment to catch up or learn something new, make peace, even appreciate another's perspective. In a world where there is so much noise, there is so much disruption and uncertainty, where many of us in this room are worried sick about people malnourished and starving in this area and across the globe, where many in this room are just getting back from being furloughed, or who are concerned about jobs or neighbors or the prices of groceries and other bills, where many in this room are looking out at the landscape and asking, what can I possibly do to make the world a better place? Our readings today remind us to never underestimate the small and the simple. A mustard seed can sprout a mighty plant. A bit of yeast can bring forth bread to feed the bellies of many. A quick peace be with you, or how you been, or welcome, welcome, at the end of gathering can lift someone's spirit. Even a holiday potluck can enliven Abraham Joshua Heschel's words when he calls the goals of living are to experience the commonplace deeds as spiritual adventures, to feel the hidden love and wisdom in all things. Now, finding our way to the table is not always easy or clear or expected, but God knows there's always room for transformation. Recently, I heard a story on the radio that affected me deeply. On a brisk fall night, a man named Julio was walking home from work. As he was climbing the stairs of the metro stop, a teenager pulled out a knife and told Julio to hand over his wallet. Julio did as he was ordered. As the teenager turned to leave, Julio called to him. "Hey," he said, "you forgot something. If you're going to be robbing people all night, you might as well have my coat to keep you warm." The teen is perplexed. Why are you doing this? "Well," Julio says, "I figure if you're willing to risk your freedom for a few dollars, you must really need the money. I mean, all I was going to do was go grab dinner. In fact, if you want to join me, you're welcome to come." The teenager reluctantly and somehow agrees. On the way to the restaurant, he learns that his name is Max. As Julio and Max are seated, the manager and the dishwashers and the waiters, they all come over to say hello to Julio. "Do you own this place?" Max asks. "No, I just eat here a lot." "But you're even nice to the dishwasher." "Well, didn't your mother tell you to be nice to everybody?" "Yeah, but I didn't think people actually did it." "What do you want out of life?" Julio asks Max. He doesn't respond. When the bill arrives, Julio says, "Well, Max, I guess you're going to have to pay the bill because you have my money. But if you give me back my wallet, I'll gladly treat you." Max pushes the wallet across the table. Julio smiles and hands him $20, but he asks for something in return: his knife. And Max places it gently into Julio's hand. Now, this is a true story, a unique story, but not a unique situation. In a world that seems to have forgotten that we are family, Julio's actions remind us that each of us in our own small way, in our own particular contexts, each of us can choose to make our tables places to take steps towards compassion and fresh connection, even change. So today, and this season, maybe you look to our traditions and to all that we're trying to build together in this place in order to open our hearts wide and trust in the power of pulling out a chair and saying, "Welcome. Now, let me fix you a plate."